Welcome to the Man Cave. We keep the party going. Ladies and gentlemen, great conversation today. Is taking a man's last name worth it? That's today's topic. Now, we are in the dating stage, a man and a woman. They're having a good time. Had some bedroom fun. We ain't talking about that right now. They done did so many things over 2 weeks, 2 days, 10 years, 5 days is irrelevant. And they are going to get married. They go to the courthouse, they fill out paperwork to get the marriage license. They have a date set. They got the tuxedos. They got the bridal gowns. They're about to have a bachelor party, bachelorette party, everything set in motion. But there's one thing that's not in place, and no, it's not a prenup. It is the woman saying, I don't know if I want to take your last name. Right then and there, the wedding should be over with. I'm gonna explain to you why. Ladies and gentlemen, a man's last name is everything. If this man is the man of your dreams, like you say he is, why are you not taking his last name? Cool. Let me give you a couple of scenarios on why a woman would say, I'm not taking his last name. She is the only child of last name XYZ, and her father's passed away. Her mom is still alive, but the father's gone. The last name, she want to keep the last name for the kids. Sounds good. You know what? Let's settle out of court and let's hyphenate the last name. Now, the man has two options. He can either agree to this or disagree to this. But my question is, if he's the man of your dreams, why are you not taking his last name and fully? Because when you do a DNA test, if anybody's ever done a DNA test, and I've taken one before, you look at the history of the DNA. It goes from great, 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 great grandfather to and so forth and down below. I'm gonna make it real simple. You got your grandfather, you got your father, and then you have the child. That's how the DNA works. And when they start tracking it down, the last names are important to track it down. Let's say hypothetically the daughter's name is Johnson. The dad name is Johnson. And it keeps on going up and so forth, so on. But if the man's name is, let's just say his name is Turner, it changes things a little bit. But guess what? The DNA stays the same. So when you're really keeping the last name of Johnson in the example I just gave you before, it doesn't really change anything because the DNA is going to be tracked down from the grandfather to the father to the daughter. But once that man name is I forgot the name I gave him, go to the to the woman, that DNA, the last name might change, but the DNA does it. So what am I saying to you guys out loud? So many words. The last name don't really mean that much. When that woman has a baby by her potential husband, that last name should be his name. Hyphenating the last name should not even be an option. That's one scenario. Let me give you another scenario why a woman would say, I do not want to take on my man's last name because she wants to keep her last name. If you want to keep your man's last name, don't even get married. Or matter of fact, I'll do you even one better. Why don't you marry your daddy? The point of marriage is to take on the man's name and his legacy, so forth. And the key word is his legacy. If it was the other way around, and a man had to take on a woman's last name, marriage would be exist. It wouldn't even happen anymore. Marriage wouldn't be a law. Is there men who are taking on their woman's last name? Yes, there is. However, that small percentage of men doesn't even shouldn't be mentioned right now because it doesn't make sense. You did all of that work. You did this man for so long. You gave him so much bedroom fun. Y'all went on dates, went on trips, whatever it was. That man got down on one knee, or he just handed you a wedding ring. Is he relevant? How he proposed, and you said yes. You did all the paperwork. You did all of the bridal stuff, all of the groom stuff. Now the deal breaker is, I'm not going to get married unless I can either hyphenate the last name or he takes my last name. Ladies, y'all don't ask for way too damn much. Y'all don't ask for too much. What is wrong with taking on a man's last name? I just explained to you guys the DNA example. I'll say it again. Let's say though I gotta put names on it. Let's say the woman's name is X. It's relevant her name, but her last name is Johnson. So she's a Johnson. She has a daddy, last name Johnson. He has a daddy, which is her grandfather, name is Johnson. So you got Johnson, grandfather, Johnson, dad, Johnson, daughter. She meets, irrelevant the name, but his last name is Turner. So Turner and Johnson come together and they make a baby. The baby's name should be Turner. What's the discussion about? Or it should be Turner Johnson. Or it should be, the baby's name should be Johnson. Doesn't make any sense. The purpose of marriage is to go down to the courthouse and get this magical piece of paper that says that we are married. And on the marriage thing, it say Mr. and Mrs. Turner. Oh, my fault. The way she wants it, it got to be Mr. and Mrs. Turner Johnson. Ladies, make it make sense. You just found you a man who wants to take you seriously, and because you don't want his last name, you're not going to get married. Oh, my goodness. This is where we at, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2026. And women are saying, you're such an awesome man. I'm going to accept your proposal for marriage, but at the same time, though, I can't take on your last name. Now, let's flip it right fast. From the men's point of view, this is why you got to put the work in. I don't recommend any man get married to the age of 30 years old. Why am I saying 30 years old? Because in your 20s, you're not ready yet for a family. Your finances are up and down. You might lose a job, you might gain a job. You're trying to build your career up. Your building a career up is so important for the long term of you being successful. Guess what? Your relationship is not going to be the same. She's going to demand so much from you. I'm not saying don't have a girlfriend. What I'm saying is don't get married. Date her for 10 years. What is wrong with dating for 10 years and then get married later on? The men are not prepared. Now, all the exceptions to the rule, absolutely. But when you start looking at it, though, okay, the average 30-year-old person, the divorce rate, a person got married at 21 years old, even 27 years old, to reach 30 years old is very high. So I'm telling men is, don't get married to you at least 30 years old. Did I make this mistake? Yes, I did. But guess what? Learn from my mistakes and most men possible. Men, talk to men. You got a father. You got a brother. You got an uncle. You got a cousin who got married at a young age. And guess what? The majority of it didn't work out. That's one part of it. Second part of it. Men, you got to make your last name mean something. Let's be honest with you. A lot of y'all suck. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it a spade a spade. A lot of y'all suck. So how do you make your last name very important? First and foremost, you have a network of men. Do they respect you? Are you the go-to guy? Not saying you have to be the go-to guy, but the other men respect you. If other men don't respect you, how do you want your woman to respect you? Boom. Bombshell. Ain't about how much money you make. It's a component of it. Congratulations, you make some money. But guess what? If you don't have frame, if other people don't look at you as that guy, guess what? You're just wasting your time in a marriage. It's a ticking time bomb before you get divorced because your last name don't mean nothing. And when your last name don't mean nothing, guess what? It's a ticking time bomb for the to be over with. That's why she won't take your last name. So this is my recommendation to all men. Be the best man possible. Whether you're 5'8", 5'2", or you're 6'3", go to the gym, work on your body, look like this. Not mess with you. Look the best you possibly can do to your body frame, whatever that may have been. Now, how are you at your career? Whether you be an entrepreneur or you're working a normal job, are you killing.com or you just getting by? Because the more work you do in your 20s and your 30s, the less you're going to do in your 40s and your 50s. So I highly recommend that all men achieve things at a younger age so they can relax later on. This is why I recommend men don't get married till you're 30 years old, because I want you guys to have the advantage over the women. Am I saying beat them physically, mentally? No, I'm not. What I'm saying is, let's be completely honest, ladies and gentlemen, women killing it right now. In 2026, a lot of women are killing it right now. They are very successful, whether that be from education, whether that be from their finance, their success, and all this other good. They're successful. And guess what? They won't date most of you men, which is fine. Don't worry about those women. But overall, women are killing it. What are you doing? Or you complain about politics. Oh my God, Democrat. Oh my God, Republican. Don't worry about Democrat, Republican. How about making some damn money? How about holding some frame? How about your house be your house? When you say something, it actually means something. But a lot of you guys are wimps, suckers. And guess what? The women be seeing that too. Like, oh my God, I want a man who's going to agree with everything that I say. And here come your ass. Hey, baby girl, what do you want? You want some flowers? Here's some flowers. Want me to spend? Oh, let me go in my pocket and give you every last dollar and make you happy. You can't make a woman happy. She got to make herself happy. So I'm telling you, men is be the best man possible. When you're around a bunch of men, do you stand out? Or you in the middle? Or you suck.com? This is the worst case scenario. You suck.com. What you going to do about it? How about asking other men, how do I get better? Not going to social media, make this magical button right fast. It's going to tell me how to get better as a man. No. Iron sharpens iron. And guess what? If you're in a bad friend group, join another friend group. Damn, you know what? All y'all suck. I suck too. Let me go over here and learn something from somebody. So there's been no reason that a woman doesn't want your name fully. None at all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a bombshell. Women are saying, I don't want your last name. That means you're not up to par because your name was Turner in this example, and you are a successful man. Let's say, I'm gonna throw some numbers out there. You're 6 foot tall, your whole frame, make a certain amount of money, whatever that number is irrelevant, the number, but she's extremely happy to be with you. Guess what? She's gonna take your last name. And for any woman using that psychology on you, well, you know, my father passed away. I'm his only child, and I really want to keep this name. Who cares? Don't get married then. Don't get married, ladies. Marry your daddy. But my daddy's no longer here. Well, you got an option. Take the man's last name or just be single. Be single with that meritorious last name. Oh my God, I'm a Johnson for life, baby. I'm a Johnson for life. Let her be a Johnson for life then. Don't marry her. Men, control your last name means something. When you get married, let's say, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. and Mrs., it better be your last name. If it was anything other than your last name, then why you get married for? Why don't you we need to bring masculinity back. Where did it go? I know where it went. Some of you guys are pandering so much to the women. You even know who you are. Pick your balls up. They dropped when you was a young kid. Let them drop. No, I gotta get into my emotional feelings. It's just the way she makes me feel. Man up. The minute you start letting women lead your relationship, it's a ticking time bomb. Bombshell. Ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, subscribe to the video. Am I right? Am I wrong? A man's last name means something. If a woman is taking your last name, there's something wrong with you. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, keep the party going.